All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Take 5. The last several days, if not a couple of weeks, we've been tracking smoke and smoke and smoke.
Right? Look around. It's still around.
It's still around. We're hoping that it leaves by tomorrow, but what are you going to focus on at the 5 o'clock show?
Okay, at 5 o'clock, we are going to ask the big question, do we have enough boots on the ground? Do we have enough trucks? Do we have enough tankers? Do we have enough to keep on fighting these wildfires? Our own Glenn Farley went down to the Operations Center in Olympia. He spent the day pretty much with the fire managers, and he's going to tell us if we're ready to sustain this kind of fight.
Yeah, because we're not getting any help from Mother Nature, and there's still people on the front lines, so
we're not.
That'll be good to figure out. Lori, thank you so much. Chris, over to you.
Yeah, you know, we get lots of feedback on this show. A lot of you text us, some of you post in the 5 Hive about stories that you like, and today I got the ultimate feedback from a guest star of our show, a master gardener by the name of Cisco Morris. He sent me this message. Take a look. He says, someone I met raved about how great the segment was. It'd be so tempting to do a Cisco voice here, but I won't. Someone I met raved about how great the segment with Izzy was, so I made a point of watching it. I loved the living tweedle out of it.
Give us
From
a little,
Cisco, so you know.
Give us a little
So
Cisco
you know it was Cisco. Well, I'm close with Cisco. In fact, I went to Cisco's house to do a story on plants. That's what he's referencing here. In particular, he wanted to do a segment on his dog, his puppy, Izzy, and plants that are in your yard that maybe you want to look out for. And I got to say, when I was at his house, Izzy played along perfectly.
What happened?
Oh, man, she eats anything there is.
Wait, so Izzy actually ate the list of poisonous plants?
She doesn't want me to know.
So you can find that on Facebook as well, the complete story. But yeah, very ironic. As we were doing a story, he had a list you can get from your vet. He says, get this because it'll tell you all the plants that are dangerous for pets, in particular dogs in your backyard. And while we were not looking, Izzy started chewing on it and eating that list. So
I need a copy of that list. I have a dog at home.
If we could all just have a little bit more of Cisco in our own lives.
Well, that's a perfect
good.
point, because we know every time we do have Cisco on, people text in, they go on the Facebook, they say, oh, I wanted to ask him about this thing.
Right.
We want to make this a segment. Ask Cisco. You've got something you want to know, let us know.
I love that.
I've got direct contact. I even know where he lives now. His yard is like an oasis. Just being there alone is zen. So 206-448-4545. Let us know. Ask Cisco, and then we'll ask him. We'll get you the info.
In the meantime, let's go. I can't talk. Let's go to some of your texts, because we've had a lot of great pictures of the haze, and also look at this little doggy.
Aww.
When the dog wants to go for a walk, but it's too smoky.
Poor thing. It's okay, buddy.
So
Give it another 24 hours. You'll be out there playing in no time.
And that is tough, right? We learned that yesterday. They really say, if you can, avoid letting them out right now. So.
I think we had some advice too, didn't we, on parenting or
Pregnancy,
parenting,
parenting, Steph, do we
breastfeeding?
have any others that we wanted to showcase real quick?
Getting a lot of text messages here.
You want to read that one?
Okay, as a new mom, I always expected that breastfeeding was just something easy. It surprised me as I couldn't figure it out, thought I just wasn't meant to breastfeed. Now I am learning how and still learning. I fed my daughter some formula, but I also learned that it is okay to do so.
Yep.
Yeah. And then fed is best rather than like breast is best.
Yeah.
Fed is best.
right.
This is a huge movement. I love this. So this is actually one of my passion points, because I think we do not do a good enough job of talking to expectant moms about how hard it's going to be in the beginning, and particularly breastfeeding. And I think moms feel so guilty no matter what, that if it doesn't go perfectly and they struggle, even if they don't struggle, it's just hard. And we just don't warn them enough. And so I think a lot of moms feel like everyone else is doing this with no problem and I'm having a rough time. And it's just not true. It's tough.
Like how tough?
It's tough.
Well, it's hard. I mean, the first few days are really hard. So a lot of times there's, just a lot of things happening. Hormones are raging. You're exhausted. The baby's learning how to eat. Your milk hasn't come in yet. So those first few days can be really challenging, and you really just stick with it. But I just want to also say to moms that aren't able to or choose not to breastfeed, it's okay. Your baby's going to be fine. We don't have to make people feel so guilty about this.
Well,
Oh,
there's
I
so
love
many
that.
caveats to it. The breast pump can come into play. I mean, all of the moms and parents out there, how many times you were
Lactation
driving to
consultants
some
are
dinner
super
party,
helpful.
hiding under a towel with,
So you guys remember us talking about that family just taking their kids out of school and traveling the world?
Yeah.
So here it is. 10 years ago, a Bainbridge Island family gave it all up, the house, the car, the belongings, everything. They took off for a sailing trip around the world. These are the Giffords. They voyaged through the Pacific and Indian Oceans to Africa, Asia, Mexico, all while raising their 3 kids at sea. Can you imagine? After many years away, they returned to Bainbridge Island this last summer to reconnect with family. spend a few months on land. They say their lifestyle is certainly different and sometimes difficult, but they wouldn't trade it for anything.
So great to have this time together as a family. How lucky are we to grow up experiencing the world and exploring and seeing countries and trying new foods and learning about new cultures, and to do it together. We're so lucky.
So lucky. So they hope to return to sea. Believe it or not, they want to go right back out in this coming year. After their boat totem gets some much needed maintenance, as you can imagine, being out on sea for a while, we'll get that. But can you imagine the cultures you would see, you know, when you're out and about?
In 10 years.
Amazing.
10 years is a long
Think of what
time.
they've missed while they've been gone for 10 years. Probably.
No
They
TV.
Probably haven't missed it, but they've heard about it from afar. Yeah, crazy.
Probably good. Okay, we've got another text we want to get to real quick before we move on. Drop off is
back to
hard to
school.
call.
Yeah, you were looking at someone who dropped their giant child off, their baby, who wants their baby at college. That has got to be hard. Not looking forward to that myself.
All right, we got a big old high five coming up next.
Don't go anywhere.
High five? Low five. Upper low five.